We should be live here in a minute.
Nice. Oh, it has like a little countdown timer?
Does it have, is that what's going on?
I have no idea.
All right. I don't usually set these up, so if we are live, then
What's up, guys? If we are live.
what's
We are live.
happening? Yeah.
We made it. We did it.
All right. See, I don't need balls for this. I can do this. I guess it's all right. I can set
Two
it up.
balls?
Yeah. I can do this.
We're
All
just
right,
kidding. We
let's
miss
see.
you, balls.
I am not seeing it here. We're live, though?
We're live. I see it. Hey, guys, if you are watching with us live, let us know. Throw a W in the comments. Let us know you're here for round 2. Going to be having a good call today. I'm excited. I'm glad to be back here. Nick, what's going on, man?
Yeah, what's happening, Alex? Super excited to have you back, man. Last time, we just had way too much good stuff going on. So, again, guys, just in case you're wondering, we are going to be talking about inbound sales today. If you guys want to learn more about cold emails, LinkedIn prospecting, Alex gave some amazing tips on our live last week. We were planning to talk about both last week, but we had too much fun going back and forth talking about stuff, and I wanted to make sure we had our own special live talking about inbound because it is a hot topic. It is something that at some point you really need to evolve to. I'm not saying it's the first thing you want to get started with, but you have to get to a point where you can have consistent inbound leads that you can rely on for projection and growth of your company here. Alex, just for the people who didn't catch the last one, man, just give a quick introduction for you. I think a lot of people should know you by now. Quick introduction, and
Sure.
then we'll jump right in.
Sure. So, Alex Schlinsky, I'm the owner of Prospecting on Demand. It's a marketing agency as well as a marketing mentorship community training course. Usually for entrepreneurs, marketers abound. We focus mostly on lead generation and sales, whereas most others will focus on teaching you how to sell services. That's why Nick and I are on here today to talk about prospecting, how to bring on new leads, how to bring on new clients. This information is not only valuable for you and your business, it's also going to be valuable for the clients you work with, right? That's also big key. Everything we're talking about prospecting wise, you can also implement for the companies and people that you work with and create new offers through that. And that's what we're going to really talk about today. If you're watching, again, just let us know you're here. We appreciate you. What's up, Mitch? What's up, Jeremy? What's up, Kurt? I'm excited, man. We have got some good stuff here today.
Yeah, this is my favorite thing. We've made a big shift over here. The last, I would say, 5 months or so, we really moved from, hardcore pounding the phone. Actually, 6 months ago, I had a call floor. I literally hired 3 cold callers. They were setting appointments for me, doing all that stuff. It didn't work out as well as we would have liked, and then we came across some inbound stuff, webinars that we'll get to today. So we've actually really moved into this, and I shut the ads off a day or two ago because we're doing some regrouping on them. But I was getting multiple inbound schedules per day over the last 60 days. Through auto running stuff, and then also I've been running webinars where I'm getting big blasts of schedules all at once and closing multiple people over a couple day period utilizing those. So we'll dig into those. But before I start talking about us, man, you're the prospecting on demand guy, man. Where do you want to start? I know we talked about a few different options here. Start with one of your favorites, what you think is most important for us to talk about before we move into this. Actually, wait, hold on, real quick. Let's talk about where you think people should be when they get going to this, maybe the type of money it might cost.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Let's start with the mentality where we need to be.
I'm going to frame this. I'm going to frame this first. Last time we were going to speak about inbound and outbound, but we took the entire hour just speaking about outbound and outreach. So if you're someone that's kind of just starting, you are looking to get your first client, your second or third client, you're trying to get in, another $1,000, $1,500 in revenue to invest back into ads or in another course or a mentor, whatever it may be. This is still important information for you to listen to, but it's not really where you want to be right now. You want to be on LinkedIn and doing direct mail and going with the low-hanging fruit stuff that we spoke about in the last call. You can literally pause this and go watch that right now, or you could stay along with us, watch this live, and go back to the other one. But if you are someone that has, at minimum, in my opinion, $3,000 in recurring revenue monthly, and I mean recurring revenue, not you are being paid right now $3,000 for a website. I'm talking about recurring revenue, a client that will pay you consistently. Then we can discuss, spending $250 to $500 minimum on some inbound traffic to potential funnels. Now, some of the things that we're going to talk about here today include webinars, call booking funnels, which I call in Prospecting on Demand high ticket funnels, and then how to make outreach methods, kind of the things that we spoke about last week, how to make them inbound. And that will really help you guys understand how to generate leads. So like when Nick and I, wake up at 8:30 in the morning and we're having our coffee and we see new consultation booked, how did Nick and I create that opportunity without reaching out to that person? How did that person become interested in our services or offers without reaching out to us or having us reach out to them manually? The way we do that is through effective inbound methods. So if anyone has actually watched or utilized any inbound methodology, just let us know. Write inbound in the comments below. I'd really recommend starting there. I think that's a very, very important thing to do because I want to know kind of how many people here are actually implementing inbound right now. I think a lot of people don't even try inbound because they don't know what it takes to do that. It's not as scary as you may seem if you are understanding that it is a requirement. I will say that again. It is a requirement to invest in your business if you want to succeed. You cannot simply do outreach for the rest of your life. It's impossible. We spoke about bottlenecks last week and what we were trying to really do, create time and financial freedom, right? Like, you have to be able to invest in your business. I'm not just talking about learning and implementing, advertising for your business, just like you're advertising for your clients. I'll say one more thing here, and then we'll dive into a couple things, Nick. And I think this is a big key. I have some people that object sometimes to join Prospecting on Demand, which is completely understandable. Obviously, not everyone's going to be, I'm in, let's go right now, right? That's not how it goes for most services or offers. Sometimes that happens. Other times you have objections. Here's an easy way to overcome one, and I think you guys will understand why I'm bringing this up right now and the importance of actually inbound methodology. When you're selling your services, most people in here, I'm guessing, are selling PPC, SEO, something related to a lead generation service for a dentist, chiropractor, attorney, whatever it may be. Now, you're asking that person to pay you a management fee to do the work every month. Minimum that we're seeing is $500. Most people here are probably in the $1,000, $1,500 range. Then you're asking them to spend money on ads, right? Minimum, again, probably $500, but more so towards the $1,000 to even $5,000 plus range, right? So on average, you're asking minimum for a new client that has no idea who you are to invest with you, let's say $2,000 complete minimum, $2,000 minimum every single month, right? Now, you are unwilling to invest even $500 in your own business, even $1,000 in your own business. When you get that switched around and turned around on you, I think it really will clarify and allow you to really look at yourself in the mirror and be serious about who you are as an entrepreneur. Are you in this just to create some finances and sell your service? Because if you're unwilling to buy your own service, if you're unwilling to invest the same amount you're asking clients to invest in you, isn't that a problem? That's why we're talking about inbound today. That's why Nick and I are here. So Nick, I want to shoot this to you real quick. For your business, what have you seen in 2017 as being the #1 inbound method? And then I'll dive into there for what I've seen from my business side.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've had two successful ways of generating inbound leads. The first off is webinars. We hear about them all the time. We see them. And so we would just drove leads to a webinar that I had scripted out and pitched on the webinar. And I pitched for a scheduled call. It's not a ton of rocket science there.
This was for marketing services?
Yeah, for our marketing services. Yep, so going after a specific set of business owners, ran ads to them, got them on a webinar, pitched a call, closing down the call after that. Boom. Beautiful. Easy peasy. Our average webinar, we would spend maybe $2,000, close anywhere from 4 to 8 new clients, $3,000 recurring. I mean, it just works. And the other thing that we do is we've got a lot of different ads running. Some of you guys might have seen them. If you ever get caught in my pixels, you're going to see the death of me on Facebook. I'm going to be everywhere, not just on the internet following around with our P-Top local stuff, but on Facebook especially. We've got a lot of things going on. We drive traffic to blogs, which we retarget and send them to case study pages where we do scheduled strategy calls. So that's the other option. It's worked very, very well for us, and that's where we've really been getting several coming in, over the last 45 days or so. Literally 1 or 2 a day were coming in at a great price. And the main reason why I wasn't scaling it up was because we're taking care of some stuff in-house here. We couldn't really handle the volume. I mean, we're literally at a point where we couldn't handle the volume of onboarding, enough clients to keep up with that. We're getting ready to blast off in January, though. We spent this month really digging things up. I also want to touch on a couple of things Alex said there. It does become a requirement for you to have automated, consistent inbound leads at some point. And I know you mentioned 3,000. I'd say 5,000, 10,000. I personally my thoughts are get to 10 grand a month. Get to 10K recurring. Hustling, that type of stuff. That's what I would do. That's just me. If I had to start over again tomorrow, simply because I want to make sure that because the inbound stuff can take some time. There's gurus out there who say it's the easiest thing in the world. You just run one two-step funnel and you're good. You're just gonna print money. And the targeting is a little difficult when you're going to business owners. It might take some time to get that going, ads going in. So I would probably put that number a little higher. That's just my personal thoughts on it, though. Mainly because also, like, just get to 10 grand quick, man. You just bang, bang, bang. Shoot some mailers, make some phone calls, send some emails, and then you've got plenty of money to mess around with, so you're not putting half in. That's just my thoughts on it. But you don't need to have 50 grand a month coming in, 100 grand a month coming in before you can do it. I know that a lot of people probably have, because I had this. I would imagine a lot of people think it's a lot harder than it actually is to get it in. It does, and it's not easy, but it's like we're marketers. We got to figure this shit out, So unless you're a one-trick pony, what's that?
I think everyone's scared. They're like,
yeah, I do too. I was scared.
To throw money away, but it's a requirement. Like you're going to make the money back eventually. It might take a little bit of time. You might be in the red a little bit, but if you're intelligent about your investments, not just like, oh, I made 10,000, let's put 8,000 into ads. It doesn't work that way. You have to be intelligent. I would like maximum budget that I've seen like on extreme levels would be like 15 to 20% of your gross revenue being implemented into ads. And that's a massive amount. The average for companies is like 2.5%. So I'm talking about like 10 times that. So it's very, very high. The most I did over the year, and I'm not the biggest like numbers guy, but I brought someone on my team that can really help me understand numbers in a great way. The biggest amount that we did in 1 month this year was 36%, which was way too high, but we had over 1,000% return on the investment. So when you look at it that way, it's good, but it's also extremely not safe. Like if I was to tell Nick without the 1,000% return on the investment portion, hey Nick, would you agree 36% of my gross revenue from May 2016, we implemented all of that back into ads? He'd lose his freaking mind. What the hell are you talking about? How didn't you put half of that into an IRA and a 401k and making sure that you're providing for your family? Because that's what we're doing it for. We're doing this to eventually provide for our families and provide for the clients we work for. So you have to be intelligent about how much you're implementing and really what you are doing. Now, Nick brought up here a couple pieces that he's been doing this year, and I'm going to share with you basically unleashing what I've done this year. My big goal in 2017 was to create an acquisition system, full acquisition system for prospecting on demand, where no one could have to reach out to me at all and purchase POD, and then as close as possible for that for digital marketing services. Now, I have never seen, and I don't think there is a possibility, I'm considering it, for a full buyer's journey, A through Z, to purchase a digital marketing service. It's very, very hard to do that. I think there's a way to complete that type of funnel. I just think the amount of investment required to create that, the amount of time invested to do that, is not as easy as it is to go with the surefire method of a call booking funnel and either you doing the call or having a team to do it and then you pay them the percentage they are owed. I have never seen personally ever an entire funnel A through Z, like, hey, you're a chiropractor, here's my case study funnel. Hey, here, watch this video. Are you interested in this service? Buy $1,500 worth of my marketing and we'll onboard you. It could work. It's just a really hard sell because people have a lot of questions about that. Have you seen anything like that, Nick?
I haven't, and I don't even think it makes any sense, really, if you're going to be doing custom work for them, because you're leaving money on the table. You're going to be doing a bunch of work back and forth, the retention's going to be bad. So, no, I definitely haven't, and I don't even know if I necessarily want to go. I want to get it as automated as possible. You want people to show up to you, like, thinking that you're already, the big shot, you're stud out there. But yeah, I mean, I haven't seen it, and I would just cringe at the amount of money lost as a salesperson with upsells and really going deep into it. So yeah, exactly. I agree with you.
The opportunity cost and the actual money lost to actually create this system to work, because it's not going to work right away.
These guys don't trust. They're not going to trust it. Yeah, definitely.
Take time. Now, why I brought that up is because Nick and I are talking about inbound systems, automated. Like, we're talking about automated to getting on a call, creating that opportunity. If you're selling a service, not like a digital marketing package, for example, something like a course like Prospecting on Demand or a lead scraper or something, yes, you can create an automated inbound system for purchasing. That's great. That's what like e-commerce funnels are, right? So when someone that sells jewelry online, wants to work with you, you're trying to create them an inbound sales funnel. All right, we're not talking about that today. We're talking about inbound lead generation funnels, booking calls, getting opportunities to close business. Now, I'm going to tell you both sides of the spectrum and what I found to be the biggest and most resourceful method. In 2016, no question, webinars was the most important thing for my business. This was just the really beginning stages of prospecting on demand, but I didn't really do a lot of webinars for POD. I did a lot, though, a lot for digital marketing services. And my Lord, I failed time and time and time again. First problem, and I'm going to start with what I messed up so you don't do this. First problem was zero niching. I tried to do all business owners. It's like throwing a fish net out there trying to catch all the fish, but like 99% of them are able to get through the net because it's wide open. And then the 1% that's interested is like that dumb fish that can't figure out how to get through the puzzle and he's not interested in purchasing from you anyways. Terrible, terrible method. I lost a lot of money on that. It was really bad. Then I switched it to, I believe it was, I did dentists and chiropractors, really bad niches. But I did those two. I did a case study funnel, like you just mentioned, into a webinar. So the webinar was basically like case study to my call to action, which was let's book a call and how I can do this for you. And the methodology and message just did not connect. There was nothing there. Then after I finished those two, I created my final webinar for digital marketing that ended up working out very well. And I'll kind of lay out the land how I did this. So instead of talking about a case study, it didn't resonate the way I wanted it to. And I asked, by the way, how did I learn this information? Nick and I spoke about this last week. I literally asked every single person that opted in and anyone that watched any piece of the video for their feedback. And all the people that gave me feedback, because I spent a lot of money, thousands of dollars on this, didn't really create any revenue, but I got a lot of feedback that gave me insight on how to make my webinar better. And this is exactly what they said. The case study doesn't resonate because it's not my business, and I think it's a pipe dream. It's like when you look at someone like Tai Lopez and you're like, I'd love to be Tai Lopez. I'd love to make that much money, but like, I can't do that. People do that. People think that way. It's a shitty way to think, but that's the reality of some people, how their mindset works. Other people are like, I'm going to get there and nothing's going to stop me. If you're that person, excellent. I love it. But business owners are not often that person. They're like, whatever, that, Dr. Chaz got that number, but I'm not going to get that number, right? So instead, what I did was I explained a story from the client's perspective, and it became very powerful for them to see what a client would think of the business. So I opened it up and I said, client A goes to, chiropractor A, and chiropractor A has a wonderful website, review opportunities, can get this funnel made, blah, 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 and it's great. Chiropractor B has no web presence. They don't do this, that's terrible, and it's a huge mess. Who would you want to work with if you're the client? And everyone's going to say, chiropractor A. And the idea behind it is the person watching, the person in your niche that's watching this video is thinking, holy crap, I'm the B. I'm the actual B. I'm the one that has no web presence. I'm the one that's been struggling. And then you convert that into their message, explaining to them, here's your pain point. Here's the value you can implement right now. And then you share with them free information. And then you come with the call to action. This is a different webinar than the Russell Brunson style, like creation stack and everything. That is to be a sales webinar. This is a lead generation webinar. You can say it's essentially a VSL. It's just semantics, however you want to put it. But the idea here is 10 to 30-minute video, story of their client's journey from a good, juxtaposing a good experience versus the bad experience. They are supposed to have the bad experience, value for free on how they can fix that bad experience, and then how you can implement it for them. And it works incredibly well. My time that I was doing on that funnel and that process was a 27-minute video. On average, most people would watch more than 15 minutes of it, which is very good. It's a very high retention rate. Most of the people that went through it, I think we had maybe 28 to 35% of the people that would go through our funnel ended up booking calls. That is a massive amount, huge amount. It would ultimately lead to anywhere from 5 to 8% that we brought into the top of the funnel closing with us. That was how we started to create our first real strong monthly recurring revenue in our business that changed our business in no time, in a snap, literally, because so fast, when you create a machine, literally, that you put in $1 and $1.50 or $2 or $5 is coming back out, you just keep feeding that thing until it literally breaks in half. And eventually it will break. Like, the system's not going to work forever. Otherwise, Facebook ads would be a lot easier. It will break eventually, but you just make like little tweaks and you either hire the right person that knows what they're doing or you figure it out yourself. for me, I knew that I was not the guy for Facebook ads. I knew the methodology for it, but I had to bring on the right person to let the machine tweak, right? It's like, I like cars. I can drive from A to B, but I don't know how to fix the transmission. I need the car engine guy to do that, right? That's my Facebook ads guy. And that's what we were doing with webinars. And Nick, you were saying that you were using these case study funnels. Were you seeing anyone that wasn't interested in the case study side because of what I was mentioning in terms of like, it's not my client, so it's not my business. It's a pipe dream.
Yeah,
Like,
so I got a lot on what you just said, man. First off, guys, take notes. Make sure you rewind everything. He literally just gave you like the 30-minute video to run as a webinar, a case study video to drive traffic to, and how do you do it? Because I ran through a very similar experience. Now, I'm super niched, so our first webinar, ended up being a huge success. But here's the other side of that thing. Not only have I been studying and watching webinars for a year, wanting to do one, but just being a giant, whatever, soft ass, I just didn't do it. And I had one in my head. We paid Alex Becker a lot of money to get his webinar model because people on here might know that he's one of my favorite guys. I'm in his Hero Black Mastermind, his really expensive Inner Circle style one. He gave us a very good blueprint. What you just described is very similar to the blueprint that he gave us. He specifically, when I was talking to him, he's like, look, you're not selling a course here, like the Russell Brunson value stack, because I'm glad you brought that up. Because that's what I would say. Just go watch Russell. Don't quite just go watch Russell Brunson. There's pieces of it that you want to do. You want to get excited. You want to use testimonials. You want to use case studies. But some of that absurd, ridiculous value stack stuff just to schedule a call gets a little excessive. Now, did I use a little bit of it? Yes, I did a little bit. But I took out the absurd. It wasn't totally infomercial style with it. So basically how we have ours set up, because my case study and the actual webinar were very, very similar. So that's why they're producing calls. We open up with testimonials and proof on us. Not everyone, I get it, not everyone might have that, but by the time that you're ready to do inbound stuff, you should have testimonials, you should have case studies. I can take screenshots of spending over $100,000 a month, every month for the last year, over $1 million on Facebook for this niche. I can give ridiculous testimonials of people making $150,000, $200,000 a month off of our advertising for $3,000. So I love to start with stories about people in their industry. Like you said, niching down is so important. We say it on every call for all sales, start off niche down, because like I said, they can relate to it. So I start off with telling stories about that, the testimonials, things of that nature, who we are, why they should listen. And then I give a quick value pitch. I talk about why Facebook ads, what we can do, give them some insight and theory behind marketing, how the staff should handle leads, and then boom, I go straight to my offer. And then my offer is like test our system or get free leads or get a strategy call where you can learn more if you want to be like them. And we'll give them we'll waive our setup fee. We'll do month, whatever your offer might be, have some sort of hook and offer to get them to sign up. I'd have to go look at the stats on how many people are signed up who are watching our case study through signing up. But for webinars, man, when they were actually docs on there, again, a lot of marketers coming through my shit. I see you guys out there. Come in and watch. We were getting about 60 to 70% of the docs to schedule a call, and then closing about 50% of those. So we're closing 30 to 40% of the people who showed up. Out of the total amount, show rates were all over the place, so that was a little bit different. But you basically just laid out the blueprint for a successful case study video or a webinar with that. There's just so much value in what we're talking about right now. Like, I paid so much for this information, and we're over here talking about it. But hey, go do it, guys. Seriously.
You got to implement it. That's the thing, right? It doesn't matter what you pay for anything.
Real quick, I do want to say, in all fairness, what you said about Facebook ads is exactly like me. I'm the guy who pitches the webinars. I will write the scripts. I will sell the shit. I know what needs to be done in Facebook, but to go actually use audience insights, use Infinity, use all these audiences, retargeting 1%, 2%, 3%, 20%, blah, blah. Nope. We actually hired outside help outside of the agency. Some of you guys might have seen her a few times. Sema, she's amazing at running that. She has helped us full transparency there. She still does to this day. Me and her still work together all the time. We're working on big stuff coming in January. But like you said, get help when you need it.
Know your skills. Know your skill set.
Use your skills. I know I can sell. I know I want to be on video. I know I want to talk. I know I want to do that shit. But the behind the scenes, I want to understand how Facebook works, but doing it, that's not my main strategy. So I wanted to touch on that as well.
Yeah, and I agree. That's just another time as an entrepreneur just to remember, know your skill set and focus on your strengths. You don't really have to really hone in on your weaknesses as an entrepreneur. As a human being, as a person, great thing to do. Yes, getting better 1% every day, I love it. But as a business owner, that's not an intelligent use of your time. I'm not great with numbers, so I'm going to spend all my time trying to become the best accountant, or do I just pay the accountant that's going to put
Yes.
the numbers the way I want to see it? Simple as
Yes.
that.
We,
Nick and I are skilled enough, you are skilled enough, person watching, to learn everything that it takes about Facebook ads. But is that a good use of our time? No, because we can easily outsource it and still create a profit margin for ourselves. Also, while giving someone else work to do and doing something they're strong with. And that's really important. One thing I want to mention here about funnels and switching it over to not from just like the webinar idea, but the idea of a call booking funnel. Webinar, VSL, high ticket funnel, like they're all interchangeable words. It doesn't matter what you say. You could say webinar, free training, free report, masterclass. They're all the same thing. So don't get mixed up by that. There's no optimal length. There's no optimal method of doing it. There is different niches, different variables, and you have to understand that process. So now I told you about my digital marketing side. I'm going to tell you about the POD side because I think this will give you insight in a different way. Like I said, for Prospecting on Demand, my biggest goal this year was to create automated sales. So if my course costs $997 and I am putting in $1,000 to $5,000 a month in ads, I want to make sure that I'm creating more sales than what I'm investing in, right? Now, I did that through the similar Russell Brunson model of this stack. Then I found out that marketers like myself were finding it to be ridiculous. So instead of just listening to what I thought was best practice, I listened to what my audience said, and I changed it, and I made it a little cheeky at the front end. I said, look, you already know what the stack is, so I'm not going to waste your time here. Here's the whole stack. Here's the offer. Let's see if you're interested. And that worked out really well. Now, some people were off-put by the upfront abrasiveness, but you're not trying to close 100% of the clients you work with. That's what's called impossible. You can't do that. You're trying to appreciate and work with the people that appreciate and like what you're doing, and that's easy to do when you're yourself, not a made-up version of what Russell Brunson or Nick or myself are telling you to be. You got to also be yourself. You've got to implement and test. In inbound lead generation, there's a lot of really good methods and best practices, but this is my favorite line of all in marketing. Best practices mean shit until they're put into actual practice, until they're put into testing. They don't mean anything. They're just what we believe will work, but there's a lot of variables involved. There's copywriting, there's images, there's design, there's aesthetic, there's what that person is feeling on the other end
targeting,
of the
bro. Fucking targeting. Yeah.
There's hundreds of variables here. So for Nick and I to be able to come on here and say, this is exactly what you should do, this will work every time, that's impossible. We're going to give you the overview, and then you have to implement it the best way for your business. But here's the key. Don't just listen to this and think, I can't do it. It's too scary. Go ahead and just put in $10 a day. Just test it out. Even if you lose all of the money, it doesn't matter. What happens if you put in $300 of ads into your business this month and really focus on trying to build out a system? So I'm going to share my screen with you guys and show you one that I created for the auto repair niche with the help of Philip Calvet. Love Philip. Great POD Hall of Famer. Great guy.
Art repair, you said?
Auto repair.
Oh, auto repair. Awesome. Very cool.
Is this going to work if I do it? Let's see. Okay, guys, you should be able to see my screen here. Okay, so basically what we're looking at here is a sample funnel that we created for a specific niche for an auto report analysis to get on a free call, okay? Now, here's the idea behind this. You can either run ads to this link and create a whole like video for it and everything like that, or you can use this for outreach, right? You can use it on LinkedIn, emails, direct mail, you could use it for Alignable, you could use it for any outreach. So it works on both ends of the spectrum. Now, it's very simple to replicate a funnel just like this in ClickFunnels. It's very easy. I didn't even remove the ClickFunnels like domain yet. That's how easy this is. So simply put your business name on the top, the number that you want to call at. I put it at a number that you can't call me at. Then the ready to increase your car count with digital marketing. Remember, car count is a specific technobabble for the repair shop industry. If you know your industry, you know that you're going to be able to put in words that a marketer who's doing everything wouldn't know. That's why it's very important to have that type of information. This is just a simple video that we have.
Experience a bump, a dent, or a collision.
We don't have to go through the whole thing, but this quick VSL is about 1.5 minutes. It basically expresses to you the problems of not being able to find your repair shop online. If you don't know how they're going to find you. And that we created this video. We paid someone to do it. I think it was like $1,500, which is a pretty decent price, but it's really a great video. It's high quality. It's easy to make. You don't have to do that though. This video could very well just be me right here just talking. Could be the same exact thing. You don't have to go out there and make it ridiculous price. Then it says get your free analysis now. The reason why is this is the first call to action. If they're not ready, they can go below the fold. In your analysis, you'll discover how to increase car count, attract better customers, multiply your profits for a successful auto repair shop. 3 bullet points. Copywriting says do odds, never evens. Go with odds. That's why there's 3. You're going to learn more calls, more car count, et cetera, et cetera. Get your free analysis. That's it. That is literally it. The only thing here you just have to be wary of, which I don't have right now, for Facebook to work or allow you to use this, you have to have terms of service and a privacy policy. It takes 2 seconds to add that to the bottom. I just don't have that. Now, when you click it, ours is literally the simplest thing in the entire world. So it's not working at this exact second because I changed the link, but it's just a Calendly link that would say, book your call here, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever it is. This can be any call scheduler. And we spoke about this last week, right? Like Acuity, Calendly, it doesn't matter, any of them. We put this little header at the top, limited special offer, get your free consultation. You can even change the word consult to something else like analysis or something that doesn't make them think that this has to be a consult. Consult has a kind of a negative connotation these days. And that's it. That is literally it. 2 steps. It's that simple. If you have something like this for your niche or industry, you will be able to close clients. You will be able to get leads for it. I wanted to show you this because it's literally the simplest thing to do, and it takes almost no effort. I mean, you can either hire someone to do something like that for probably $1,000 on the ClickFunnels group, or you could literally just do it yourself in like 2 days. If you've never used ClickFunnels before, that is, like literally never, you could probably get that done in 2 days. It's that easy. And you will be able to have a simple funnel that will get you clients. I've shared this with the POD family, and they've utilized a very similar funnel that gets them calls booked. Now, the best part is when you edit it and learn from your audience, it just will get better. It can be that simple. It can also be like the most robust, ridiculous funnel ever with tripwires and everything. But don't try to think complicated. Just think simple buyer's journey. What's my goal here? Getting them on a call with an offer that they're interested in. That's it. Go from there. Go from there. I think that's really a big key. Have you tried anything like that, Nick?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. We've done, several things straight to case study pages where, I'll pull up mine real quick. You guys I'll share you guys what we're.
Guys, while Nick is doing that, let us know if anyone's done like inbound lead generation or webinars or anything. Just like write webinars or inbound or funnel, like whichever one you've done, so we can get an idea of what you guys have seen. And if you have any questions about this process, just shoot them in here so we know, and we'll definitely get you taken care of. We're still going to talk about here how to make outreach become inbound lead generation. This is a really critical piece of the puzzle and something that will help you scale significantly in 2018. Chris posted something. Chris Smith. Oh, Chris, this is awesome, man. I appreciate you. Unsolicited testimonial. After Alex's last live event here, I bought his course and holy guacamole. I love that line, by the way. I use holy guacamole. My wife doesn't love it. Good stuff, and I've been around the block. Simply put, if you're looking to set up a true system, check his stuff out. Hey, Chris, thanks, man. I appreciate that. You're the man. That's awesome. Thank you. What's up, Ross? How you doing, man? Oh, Ball Deep is here. What's up, Balls? How you doing, man?
All right, so I'm just gonna pull it up. Let me see here. So, very similar. You guys are going to see some similarities here. Yes, this one might be a little bit slightly more robust, but again, we've got a lot of data. So let's see. All right.
Cool.
All right, can you see my screen?
Yep.
Boom. A little video, minute and a half. Schedule your leads, testimonial videos, testimonial emails, and all this stuff. Again, you don't need all this stuff. We just have it, so we use it. Down here, boom. We talk about what we offer, what the cost is. Again, we're doing free trials. We're updating a lot of the stuff. Part of why we also turn it down. But guess what? This was generating calls every day. And guess what? When we were doing 10 free leads, we weren't even doing free trials. What my sales guy did, he's a beast. He basically turned it into just guaranteeing an extra 10 leads on the first month. So I mean, this wasn't even we stopped even running trials. But yeah, this is it. It's what we drive traffic to. Like, I mean, there's a lot. Yeah.
And again, guys, when you're looking at this, you shouldn't be thinking, oh, I can never make anything like this. I don't have testimonials. I don't have the ability to be on video. Stop with the bull crap. Come on. Just stop. That page will work fine if there was no testimonials on it until he could put testimonials on it. And get yourself behind the damn camera and suck it up. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Not pay someone to do a video.
Yeah, man, keep going with some stuff. I gotta show. So I've technically been doing a form of video selling since day one. A lot of people on here have heard me talk about my custom video prospecting. That brought us our first sales. I'm gonna see if I can pull up an old one right now, just so you can see how fucking shitty these videos were that brought in thousands, hundreds of thousands, led to multi-millions this year. Like, I mean, so hold on, let me pull those up. What you talk about?
Now, while you're doing that, I can explain how you make outreach inbound, and one of the biggest methods and most important facets is your value offer. We spoke about this last week with outreach. You need a value offer, right? Something that's going to capture the lead's attention. You can't just go on LinkedIn, have no idea who the hell the guy is, and say, hey, are you interested in digital marketing services? Let's get on a call. Never going to work. No one's going to be interested. Solicitation to the maximum level. Just look in your junk email, by the way, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Do you need SEO services? Guaranteed you have 10 of those emails in your junk, or maybe in your inbox. If you do have them in your inbox, move them to junk. The point, though, is very simply, if you have a value offer, the best value offer by far is a personalized video audit. Now, I utilize what we call PVO in POD, which is personalized video outreach. And the idea behind that is to do either like a competitor analysis or just a breakdown of their Facebook page, their Facebook ads, their Google ads, whatever you can, something of value that you're going to offer them for free on a quick 3 to 5 minute video, which is what Nick is talking about right now. And you send that to them. And then very simply, they get back to you, book a call to learn more about your offer. Now, the problem with PVO, the problem in quotations, is it's not the most automated method. So how do you make it automated? Very simple. You create one for a specific niche as a whole and leave out some of the very small characteristics that relate directly to that lead. It saves you a lot of time and still is very effective. It's not as effective, obviously, as individual, but now how do you create that to become completely inbound? It's very simple. You hire a VA, you tell them how to set up a cold email strategy and your LinkedIn prospecting. You give them the videos for X, Y, and Z niche, whichever niches you're going to reach out to, and they send them out. And then they follow up. And then they follow up with a call. And then you get on calls. That is now inbound outreach method. That's how I do my prospecting as well as our advertising. We have a team of VAs and contractors and employees that literally either create PVOs, audits, or reach out on LinkedIn or follow up calls until we get the call booked and sell the lead. It is that simple. It is that simple. Now, if you're a one-man team right now, again, I'm not speaking directly to you on this, but this is something you should be seeking out in 2018, especially so if you're alone in this. You know, there's a lot of other people that are alone in this too, right? If you teamed up with 2, 3, or 4 of those people, instead of each one of you making $1,000 a month, you could all be making $8,000 a month and build a massive business. Have you considered that? Have you wondered why Nick and Balls are teammates or are working together? Have you considered why? That's the reason. That's the idea. It's very, very important to have a team behind you so you can really implement strategies, even outreach strategies to become inbound. Hugely important.
Yeah, man. I got one of my videos I want to show you guys here that when we were first getting started. This literally worked. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I got calls. I got in. Now, do we work in the mortgage industry anymore? No. But this is what all it takes. Like, seriously. And I was driving emails to this as well. I know that if you drove traffic to it, it would work the same way. Right here, we've got a nice little video. Just wait till you see me pop up in the suit.
Good afternoon.
Look at that suit down in the corner.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Can you see that sitting down in the basement?
Nick, I love that.
Going through. I don't really wear suits anymore, if you guys haven't noticed.
Gender,
It's just a very poorly qualified thing. I mean, just look at that hair too. You know, everything about it is just awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah. So I just wanted to bring that up. That's what got us started. Those types of videos got me started, and I'm not really making like that much higher quality videos today or anything. You know, yeah, they're on nicer websites, things like that. I've got a little more time. We're driving them in. But it doesn't matter. The biggest thing is get shit out there. We all overthink. People overthink way too much on YouTube. So I'm going ham at YouTube next year. Absolutely ham. And I can't wait. It's such an underutilized source right now. People are just printing money out there. And I think it's going to end up being less competition because there's so many people who want to sit on Shopify and, don't ever want to talk to a human being or put their face behind camera. So I can't wait to go ham at video. No,
So I literally just bought a green screen. I bought a green screen. My goal is to have at minimum 2 new videos content per week for the 52 weeks of next year, as well as 1 Facebook Live on another group minimum per week every single week of next year. That is the idea of having more video content, more opportunity, putting yourself out there. That's what Nick and I are talking about. Now, if you're uncomfortable behind camera, that's okay. There are other answers to this. You don't have to be someone, not everyone is an extrovert. Not everyone is willing to get behind a camera. I personally believe you should at least give it a try. Just try. There's no reason not to. Just go live tonight on Facebook and just say, look, hey, anyone watching, hope you guys are doing well. I'm trying to step out of my shell and, do this for my marketing business and see how it works. Go ahead, delete it in 3 days if you want, but leave it up there. See what happens. What's the worst that can happen? It's not that big of a deal. The other side of the spectrum here and understanding why we're talking about inbound so much is ultimately you want to have time and financial freedom. Like Nick and myself are capable, if we wanted to say, we had a great 2017. Let's take January off, right? Let's go to Italy for a month and let our team handle the processes and we'll go do that. Will we make as much money? Maybe not necessarily. We're still integral parts of our businesses, certainly. But does that mean that our business will fall apart if we're not working? No, that's not the case. So I'll explain to you how I started this process. When I got married to Shira in 2015, November, our biggest goal at that time was to have a month-long honeymoon in Europe. We had never been outside of the country together. That's what we wanted to do. Now, in order to do that, you have to obviously create the finances and you have to create a system that will allow your business to work while you're not working. So that was really the first idea of inbound lead generation into my business, really getting to understand that in 2015 and really utilizing it effectively with bootstrapping budgets. I'm talking about $250, $500 maximum a month, like really small investments. At that time, I was thinking that's the most money in the world. I'm going to die if I lose this. And that's how it works when you get started. Now, fast forward 6 months after we got married, we had built out an SOP that would allow ourselves to not work in the business, but have people handle what we need to continually book calls, continually close clients, and continually retain our clients. Now, when we left in May of 2016, we had already had a successful webinar on Evergreen that worked by itself, selling prospecting on demand, and we had the digital marketing services being sold via call through online funnels in different niches that had our own salespeople on it. Now, here's the couple pieces that I missed out on that I didn't learn, that I learned later. The missed pieces were hiring a manager for having multiple people, because that's what I was doing. I didn't replace myself. I replaced certain pieces of what I wanted to do. Hiring a manager was the next step to removing myself completely. That's how someone like, Steve Jobs can have a huge business. He's not creating the iPhones. He's doing well, not anymore, but you know what I mean. He's doing the keynotes, right? So you have to be able to understand that process. That's a whole different style of what we're speaking about, but that's what I was learning in terms of inbound. Inbound opens up opportunities. I think that's probably the best sentence you can kind of wrap it in a bow. Inbound opens up opportunities, not just for yourself, not just for your family, not just for your business, but for everyone involved. All the people that are getting through your funnel, they're benefiting from it. If you do the funnel correctly, they're benefiting from the information, even if they do not close or work with you. They will benefit the most if they close and work with you, but even your free information is incredibly valuable. Now, in that May trip that we took, we literally looked at our business like maybe twice per week, so maybe 8 times in a 31-day period or 30-day period. It was amazing. It was miraculous. Now, certainly I had a lot of anxiety and anxious because I had never left for that amount of time, but coming back and realizing and looking at our finances and saying, man, everything's in stasis. We even, made a couple more sales, lost some clients, created some opportunities while we were all gone. This is amazing. We can do this at any time now if we do this correctly. Now, it takes time. It will take time for you to really build it out effectively. It will take time for you to be satisfied with what you do. But like Nick and I are saying, don't worry about perfection. Just put it out there. Put it out there, and definitely do not be afraid to ask. Anyone that likes your video, anyone that goes in through ClickFunnels, opts in, I don't care if they book a call with you. Follow up with that person. Doesn't matter. Even if they're pissed at you, does not matter, because you want to know what their thoughts are. So I have a brand new inbound system through ManyChat, right? You were talking about Sema, right? She was talking to me about chatbots, and we have a new one through quickwinchallenge.com, sharing some of our new videos and trainings so then you could purchase POD, right? Now, in order to do that, in order to make sure that we're satisfied with the actual chatbot, what do I need to do? Either I talk to a whole bunch of people that are not my audience, or I actually listen to what my audience going through it says. I had a call booked today for someone that was interested in prospecting on demand. Now, ended up not doing the call for whatever reason, but I asked him some feedback for the chatbot sequence. What did you think? Let me know, because I would really like your insight. Shared with me a great amount of insight. Really like this, didn't like this, tweak this. It's valuable to know what your audience thinks about your systems because they're the ones going through it. A new pair of eyes, and that's really the biggest thing to understand. Yes, there's people you can hire to do that, but ultimately your audience is really going to speak for you. Now, 10 people does not amount to 10,000 opinions, but it's still very valuable to have those opinions. And you should really, really respect the customers, clients, and prospects you want to work with because they're the ones that can really dictate how successful you are in the coming weeks and coming months and in 2018. And that is a huge key to inbound lead generation.
So I want to jump in on that with what you just said about having, understanding the buyer's journey. I've been hearing Russell Brunson say that for 2 years or whatever, and I'm just like kind of rolled my eyes for a little bit. But this year, especially in the last 3 months or so, it has become so freaking clear to me that we always need to remember that we are not selling to ourselves. We are selling to our prospective market and to our customer. Some of the things that I see people react and do that I put out there, I'm like, fuck, I would never do this, or I would never buy this through this YouTube channel. Or, I was looking at someone was selling pottery through YouTube, and they were doing random shit on there, and I found out they're making $50,000 a month. I'm like, what? Like, they had like 10,000 subscribers. I'm like, how is this possible? So, like, we are not selling to ourselves ever. So never think about that. Always ask. Don't be afraid to ask. What's his name? Ryan Levesque. He just became like an 8-figure guy on the ask method. I'm pretty sure you could sum up the whole entire book. It's like survey your customers. It's super hyper important, and always think about where they're at in the journey. And guys, always remember we are not selling to ourselves. So if we think, God, I would never click that art, or I would never click that, that ad on Google Display Network on Fox News. Guess what? Billions of dollars are made every single day on the Google Display Network with those types of ads. People are clicking them. They are doing stuff. Do I think it's weird who would click that? Yes. But it doesn't matter what I think. It matters what the customer thinks. So I wanted to jump on that because it is super important. I ignored that for a long time. No more. No more. It has become so clear to me we're not selling to ourselves.
Yeah, I think that's really, really important. It's also like when you bring that up, people might think like, well, that's really hard. Like if we're not selling to ourselves, and how do we know like what the audience wants to see? There's two very simple answers. One is market research. Do the damn work involved in this. Don't like just throw shit on there and hope that it's going to work. Don't be the person that's blindfolded bowling or blindfolded throwing darts. Actually put in the method. Here's a great example. If you are going to cut up some veggies tonight for dinner, are you going to do that blindfolded? Are you going to cut your finger? Are you going to be safe about it? Well, why are you doing that with your finances and business? Why are you willing to just throw shit and hope that it works? Do the market research necessary. Do it. Stop making excuses because there's ways to find this information. Now, once you have the market research, just put on a Google Doc their pain points, the benefits that they have working with you, the value you can provide for them, what images you think they will be interested in, what media they are really interested in, and what they will take out from what you're offering. It will take time, but doing that, creating that foundation for your inbound process, it's going to make your business a lot easier to deal with and handle as you move forward. Otherwise, you're just throwing shit against the wall and hoping that it's going to stick. And that is a really bad method. That is probably the worst thing you can do for your business, for your mental fortitude, for your psyche as an entrepreneur, for your anxiety. It just causes so much stress to do that. Even if you're incredibly wealthy already, just throwing crap at the wall and hoping it sticks is not effective. Now, you can do that for split testing on like $5 a day with things that are actually, going towards an ultimate call to action, an ultimate funnel, bringing them down the value ladder. But don't just randomly throw stuff up. Just because Nick and I are saying, look, it doesn't have to be perfect, it still has to make sense. It still has to be.
Don't be dumb.
You can wear a suit and have funny hair and, do whatever the hell you want on the video. Just make it value. Give value to them. Make them a call to action and then listen to what they have to say. If you do that, you will have a very successful inbound system. We've already spoken about webinars today, call booking funnels. We've showed you both our different case study funnel and our video funnel. What else do you want? I've told you exactly how to bring on VAs to make an outreach method inbound. The tools are there for you. There's no excuses. Nick and I are not asking you to buy anything right now. You don't have to buy anything. Just go out there and do it. I get it. 21st.
You'll never get there unless you do it. Do you know how many times I've thrown up shit that didn't work? Of course, you can't figure out what's going to work right away. No, we can't give you the exact audiences you should target and the exact word copy you should write here. Some of this has to come from you, or else you're just a flash in the pan. It's why there's such a huge die out from previous Facebook courses where you had one specific funnel, that worked. And it worked, but then what happened when it stopped working? There's a lot of die out.
I want to say one thing about that, Nick. So someone in POD, Kurt Simpson, great guy. He's been posting the 7 days of Christmas in POD, sharing his best funnels of the year to everyone in POD and all the ad copy. Amazing guy. So cool for him to do that. And one of them was this funnel you're talking about. We're not going to name names, but we have an idea what we're talking about. And it's that funnel with the image and that crappy little gray thing. And I'm like, there is no way that thing is still converting. No way. Too many people have seen it. He's in Australia, so a little different, right? But anyways, showing me, he puts up the numbers, the whole text copy, everything, and the numbers are still amazing. So even with Nick and myself saying, look, we don't even like that funnel, it still can work. It can still work. So there's no excuses. There's literally no excuses. There's none. Just go out there, put a funnel together, put the value there, get the ads out, put the money in, make it happen. Do that in January. You can also start now. Don't allow yourself to think like, oh, the end of the year is here. So what? Spend $150, $200 at the end of the year just to get a little taste of it. Maybe no one's going to purchase from you in the next 9 days. So be it. You can't handle 9 days? Not that big of a deal. Enjoy the end of the year. Get excited about the new year. If you're not going to actually unleash the funnel now, create the system for it so you can do it in the beginning of January. Don't be the guy that's like, hey, it's March. Maybe now I should consider that. Why? What are you waiting for? What are you watching 2 hours of content from Nick and I from last week and this week to just say, well, maybe I'll do it later?
No.
Why?
Now, I will tell you guys, last year in December, we did about $20,000 total revenue. I spent the second half of December making 200 custom prospect videos like you saw here, custom websites, everything. Launched them in January. Spent hours and hours of time. I mean, I was on Christmas Eve. I was taking shots and making videos. So that's how in-depth that was. Like, and by the 10th video, 10th shot, it got a little fuzzy. I had to stop. But still, I had 10 extra videos. But we launched January. We did 80,000, and it's been boom straight up since then. Even if, like you said, if you're not going to go out and do something next 9 days, whatever. Be prepared to come out the gate swinging on January 2nd, going hard at the market. Everyone's going to have New Year's goals. All business owners are thinking the same thing. I want to get rich. All the people are going to be looking for new marketing. They're going to be looking for new strategies. Be ready. Ride the wave. January through May is just blow-up time, guys. That's prime time.
Just be one thing careful about early New Year's. Numbers are inflated. Like that is real life. The ads will be inflated. There will be more people running ads. Now, I'm talking nationally, obviously. In certain specific areas, variables are variables. Yeah. There's it doesn't really, matter. Nationally, though, if you're running ads nationally, like I'm running ads nationally, I know Nick is running ads nationally, the number's going to be higher. But as long as you're still creating a profit margin, it doesn't matter. So just be wary of that. Again, that doesn't mean you should wait until February. Even if you're running at a low amount in January, that low amount will get you likes, will get you clicks, will get you potentially calls. And no matter what you see, friend the person that liked it, friend the person that commented, and just talk. Ask them. Just talk to them. Don't even try to sell them on anything. They might become a sale, but focus on learning from them. If you do that, you will be so insanely golden, crazy golden. If you listen to your audience, you will be successful. That's why Nick and I decided to talk about inbound versus outbound leads. We are not on here talking about baseball or football because that's not what our audience wants. We could do it, but it would be so insanely random. Yeah. What the hell would we be talking about this for? Right? It doesn't make sense. We can come on here, have some beers, and just talk about anything. We talk about, The Punisher on Netflix. Great show, but How is that related? Listen to your audience. Listen to your audience.
Connect with them. Reach out. Get in front of them. The inbound stuff, the biggest thing is being everywhere in 2018. You guys are hearing it from me now. You're going to see me everywhere. I'm going to be stalking you on YouTube, GDN, Facebook. So get used to it.
I'll be right behind you.
What's that?
I'll be right behind you.
There you go. Let's do it, man. We're going big.
Display ads with a little pop-up. Hey, I'm here too.
Yeah.
Hey, Alex is here. What's up, guys? Be top local.
Yeah.
Prospect on demand. What's up? It was great being here, guys.
It's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be fun. So what questions do we got? I know we just went over a lot. We went over a ton of things. I'm sure there's specific questions, things like that. But remember, guys, we're here to give you the ideas and plant the seeds. We're not here. We can't do everything and hold your hand and do it all for you step by step. You know, you're not gonna be able to.
I mean, maybe if you paid us.
Yeah,
but...
I guess we're right. You're right. For money, yes. 100%.
For a low price of $9,987, we can do it all for you.
Yeah, but the value is at least $200,000. You know, with everything we'll get the resource. Yeah, but seriously though, I mean, let us know what question you have. We went over a lot. Alex and I are both running inbound leads successfully. We're getting people in the door. And it's working out. We've seen tremendous ROI, and I'm really going to be scaling it up hard coming in, once January begins.
Yeah, guys, if you have any questions and we don't answer it now, or you're watching on replay and you have any questions, just write it in, and Nick and I will definitely answer later on. If there is no more questions, guys, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays to everyone. Appreciate you guys checking us out. It's always fun. I'll definitely be back on here sometime in the first quarter of 2018 for sure, sharing more value, sharing more insights. As always, Nick, it's great hanging out with you. Everyone that's watching now, really important thing to remember about 2018. 2017 doesn't matter. It's over. You cannot move backwards. You cannot focus on what you did wrong in the last year. You can't even really think about the future. Yes, it's good to plan and everything like that, but the only moment that you're living is this exact one right now. How are you maximizing and optimizing that time? How are you utilizing that effectively to create opportunities for your business through inbound leads, to not be the bottleneck, to not wear all the hats in your business, to make time and financial freedom, to be happy about being an entrepreneur, to enjoy your life? This is not supposed to be something that you hate doing. This is not supposed to be something that's backbreaking work, that's going to crush your soul. I'm not saying that it can't do that. It certainly can. It certainly can. But if you utilize and implement what we're speaking about, you can avoid that scenario. You can be among the people that have found success in online marketing, in online entrepreneurship, in being an entrepreneur in general. It's not easy, but if you really focus and put in the time necessary to be successful, you will be. You will be. But don't just pretend that it's going to fall in your lap. Don't just think about, well, I didn't succeed in 2017. What could change? Everything could change. Life could change in a millisecond, in an instant. So don't be the one that's regretting it. Think about what you did in 2017 for one purpose and one purpose only. What can I learn from it? Not what can I dwell on, not what can I change, nothing. What can I learn from it? 80-20, what can I learn? That's it. Shira and I, so you know, and I'll leave this with this. Saturday from 9 p.m. to noon, we have our blocked out time for our 80-20 of the entire year. We're going to go back through every single month. Every month, we write down every day that we got a sale, what sale happened, how it happened in our CRM. We're going to go back through that. And then we're going to review what each month looked like and why it looked that way, why there was dips and hills and valleys. What did we do? What was the most successful? What was the least successful? I actually started that process today a little bit by showing you guys some of this webinar stuff I was talking about. Doing that is incredibly valuable. Not what you don't want to do is look at it and say, oh, I lost that opportunity. Crap. Why? It's March 2017. Who gives a shit? Doesn't matter why I lost that opportunity. The focus is on what can I do to learn from this scenario? What is the 80-20 of it all? That's what I'm trying to do. That's what you should be doing moving into the new year. Now, if you want to wait until after Christmas to enjoy time with your family, please feel free to do it. Enjoy your time. You deserve it. Enjoy that. But please don't be thinking about the negative aspect of 2017, because when January 1 comes around, new year, new opportunity, new you. Make it happen, guys. Seriously.
Absolutely. And I got one last thing since we're going mindset based on it, because this has happened to me, and I want to make sure that it doesn't happen to people out there. It can very easily seem when you live in this world and all you see is ClickFunnels groups and you see XYZ that we're oversaturated. There's no more opportunity. Things are dying. I promise you, we are at the very beginning of the internet still. There is unbelievable amounts of opportunity. The world is changing at a rapid pace. Opportunities arriving everywhere, every single day. This is an unbelievably valuable skill set to learn. Just sharpen your saw, get good at one skill, get good at one niche, go get some clients, build from there, and yeah, let's just dominate. Take some massive fucking action. Thanks, guys. I hope everyone has a good one, and we'll be back.
See you guys soon.